These are our special partner institutions. They really made us alive a long time ago, and we owe them a lot. Next slide, please. These are corporate members, namely RI Chemical, with father and daughter, Manila and Carolina Carlos, and Bounty Agro Adventures with Erasmus Paderes and Gerald Calapio. Gerald Calapio, we thank you because you come all the time with such great insights from you. Next slide, please. In here, our individual members. They consistently support us, and together with this group, we are able to reach out. Right now, I want to compliment the new board, which has really expanded our forum from about 20 every week to 600 around the world. Okay, please, Vivian, I think I will now introduce our speakers and give a brief oversight. First of all, the topic today is Edgetec edible cutleries with biodegradable packaging. This is very interesting given our need for good agriculture, but it adds technology. And with technology and of course the environmental aspect of biodegradable, this is a very good thrust in our agriculture environment. I'd like to say too that we have an interesting combination here of both the professor and the student. The professor is James Paul Manina, and the student is Stanley De Rosario. They are both from the Technological Institute of the Philippines. Professor James is from the College of Business, and Stanley is a fourth-year civil engineering major. They'll talk about this, which we'll have more information on. Talks about things from flour and they're using different flavors at very affordable prices, packaging that degrades after 2 years. This package is made of water, glycerin, and gelatin. And actually in the competition, in a Swiss competition, they got third place in the sustainable development category. This contest was sponsored by the Embassy of Switzerland with the Swiss Cultural Fund and the Swiss Chamber of Commerce. There were 150 project entries, and these were gotten from both students and professionals. Very happy to welcome them. These are the people from academe who want to do things to help our country. These are the people that really will help our country. So Professor James Menina and Stanley De Rosario, we'd like to welcome you and thank you for coming. And your innovation is fantastic. And it is from technology, which is our focus in our forum, that really can help countries develop. So without much further ado, we will let you talk about your topic. I explained a little bit about it, but please explain it more clearly. And before we do that, we'd like to do two things. The first one is we'd like to get your contact numbers so that the 600 people who come every month, these are 600 different people who come every month, actually on time or through internet, they can reach you. So you can give your office number or your cell number. It's up to you. So Professor James, could you announce, please, what your contact number can be? Not the chat box, will announce it because people around the world, they sometimes don't see the chat box. So Professor James, could you give us your contact number, please?
Professor James Menina's number po is 0927
Yes.
498
Yes.
5565. Again, that's 0927 498 5565. And for the student leader, Stanley Del Rosario, you may reach him at 0977 004 3921. Again,
Yes.
0977 004 3921.
Thank you very much. So just if you didn't get your pen on time, James is 0927-498-5565, and Stanley is 0977-004-3921. This is a very important connect because in between farms without a bunch of bureaucracy, you talk to them and things happen. We'd like to know, if possible, what the results are, but if not, things good. And if something happens, good to let us know because we're recording if we are being faithful to our task of actually putting into action what is here. All right. So James and Stanley, we probably start with James. Uh, yeah, we got your number now, and Stanley. James, what we want to do is have a personal relationship. So maybe in 3 to 5 minutes, Professor James, tell us what motivated you to get into this and what your personal commitment is. And then after that, we'll ask Stanley the same thing. And after we have these 3 to 5 minutes introductions of your personal lives, we go into the presentation. So, Professor James, it's fascinating. We're so glad you're not only in academia helping people, but you're inspiring young people with your combined brilliance. We can really change this country around, right? So, Professor James, give us 3 to 5 minutes about your background. Not so much about what you went to school, but more importantly, what personally motivated you to get into this, Professor James. Can we do that, Professor James?
Yes, hello, sound check. Am I audible?
Very clear,
Yes,
Professor
Okay.
James.
but we don't see you.
I have a problem with my camera. So anyway, with our project for the edible cutlery, our motivation is to have a responsible consumption for the citizens because we all know that one of the major problems all over the world, not just in the Philippines, is a plastic waste. So that is why we decided to create or develop a business model that will achieve and reach one of the sustainable development goals of United Nations. And the group, Stanley's group, have decided and developed an idea which is all about edible cutlery, which will solve the plastic waste not just here in the Philippines but also in other countries.
No, thank you, Professor James. So your aim is not just the Philippines but the world, right? And I think this is fantastic. And Stanley, you could have taken different majors such as history and be a teacher, etc. You got into this, right? And it's interesting because your major, you're an engineering major, but you've gotten into this, and it is something that is can impact agriculture and environment. Tell us a bit about you and how you got into this, why you were interested in this, Stanley.
So, good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, very. And we see your handsome face. So good, you both. Because si James wala yung kanya video niya. Go ahead, please, Stanley.
So, good morning, everyone. So, we started this just as for a school project, but the first question was, what was the problem, the biggest problem that we see in the community? And we, the team, collaborated with the idea of solving the problem with plastic pollution because nowadays this is very very alarming, especially in the Philippines, as my professor Sir Menina mentioned that um, even if Philippines is not in the top 10 plastic producers in the world, we are ranked one in plastic pollutants in the ocean. So this is very alarming considering our um, difference from the other countries, because if you see the statistics by Plastic Bank, you could see there that we are like ahead of those country, like in a mile away. Like it's almost doubled for the, if you double the top two, we still produce more. If you consider all other countries except the top 10, we still generate more. So this is very alarming, considering us on the the future generations that will still live in this country. So we try to solve this problem by eliminating those plastic pollutants. So we done our research. We target the top one and two uh, plastic produce, which is plastic packaging and plastic cutleries such as spoon and fork. So those two plastic products are the main plastic products that contributes into the plastic pollution. So we targeted that so that we can help for a more sustainable lifestyle for all of us. So that's it.
That that's fantastic, Professor James. You know, see you. You're just as good looking as Stanley, probably equally brilliant. So let's proceed. We now have your numbers. You now have a bit of how you got into it. We intend to communicate with you after forum, and other people, maybe part of the 600, will call you up to get some tips, etc. So let's proceed. I guess I give the floor first to the old and then to the young. The both of you are very young. Okay, Professor James, take it away, and we're now going to hear your presentation. Incidentally, from 8 to 9, this is worldwide, 600 people. After that, we have an informal session. We talk about more things, with more action, etc. 9 to 10 is no longer recorded, but a lot of action takes place there. So it's 8 to 9 for everybody to hear. And it was 8 to 9 because, as we said before, most were, above 60 now. Actually, 50% is below 45, right? So, and they said they had to work at 9, so we kind of cut off at 9. But 9 to 10, most of the people stay on. Okay. So, James, please proceed, lead the discussion as you wish.
Hello everyone, good morning. We are Edgetec from Technological Institute of the Philippines, and the presentation and the group is headed by Stanley and Elisa. The presentation will be done by them as well about their edible cutlery. So I will now give the floor to Stanley and company to proceed with their presentation all about edible cutlery. Stanley, can you please open our PowerPoint?
Well, it's opening it. You mentioned Elisa, right? So it is actually Stanley and his team. So Stanley will probably give credit. Oh, there's her, Elisa. Hello, Elisa. Come in. Good. Okay, Stanley, please proceed.
Is my Can you see my screen? The one
Yes.
that's presented. Okay.
Yes.
So again, good morning everyone. My name is Stanley Del Rosario, and I'm with the rest of the team. Such as I'll mention them. I have Eliza Camiging. I have Salvania. I have Jabez Nonan, and I have John Paul Fernandez and Emmanuel Dave Santos. So today, we'll discuss about our topic, which is edible cutleries with biodegradable packaging as our alternative to plastic cutleries. So let's proceed. So who are we? We are Edgetec. We want to green engineer the future. We are a set of students from Technological Institute of the Philippines, as mentioned a while ago, with our advisor, Mr. James Menina, and the team. So what is our mission? We aim to promote and encourage sustainable way of living by offering alternatives to plastic use and illuminating practical methods to value nature in our daily activities. Our objective is to develop a sustainable brand that raises societal awareness of the environment. We will make a difference for a greener future, one step or plastic at a time. We target to widen and improve our product portfolio with creative and innovation solutions to help our environment. So we want to be an advocate to save our environment. So that is one of our mission. We don't want just to have a business, but to have our environment. So next, our vision, our purpose is to make the greenest alternative and the most convenient option for the customer every time so that a sustainable lifestyle is available to everyone. Our main objective is to pave the way for a circular and sustainable automotive value chain. We target to operate nationwide and be one of the most recognized environment-friendly company in our country. We aim to continuously inspire community to achieve what we envision of a world who produce and use eco-friendly products. So as people shift toward a more sustainable lifestyle, we want to continue this circular chain regarding eco-friendly products. So here is our shared core values. We want to respect and love for nature, of course, sustainability, environmental and social protection and safety, stewardship, and customer driven. So as a team, We promise to invest in green innovation, biodiversity, conservation, and sustainable sourcing while creating opportunities and local jobs for the people in the community. So not only are we committing to lessening the plastic pollutions in our community, we also want to give opportunities and jobs for the local people in the community. So the manpower for this job, we're gonna hire those people in the local communities that is unemployed, to give them chance for a job. So brand personality, of course, we're eco-friendly and community friendly. Attributes, we are transparent and accountable. We will communicate progress regularly and involve the community in journey towards sustainability. So here's the problem that we came up with. I'll give the floor to my team, Eliza Kamiging.
Hello. Uh, for the background and rationale, as we can see, climate change made a significant impact uh, to our environment. So if we didn't do something, uh, the effects of the climate change will be irreversible by the year 2030. So if the effects are irreversible, so how will be the future generations? Next slide, please. So we uh, so through this plastic pollution, which contributes to the climate change, it made significant changes or consequences for our in our ecosystem, on our health as well, and the general being of our planet. So through this uh, through this plastic pollution, it resulted to 359 million of metric tons globally, while as we know, plastics in all forms has been integral in all aspects of our industry. So that's all. So we can see how plastic pollution has been massive through the years. It is noticeable that the plastic pollution is seen on the land and on the bodies of water as well.
So we answered the question why, what, and how. So the problem, as mentioned a while ago, is plastic pollution and climate change. So here's some random facts regarding statistics with plastic pollution. So according to Institute of Environmental Management and Assessment in their research in 2019, the number of deaths and diseases linked to plastic pollution is between 400,000 to a million people annually. And according to Recycle Track System in their study in 2022, there are over a million deaths of marine animals annually due to plastic pollution. So this is very alarming. That's why we really want to lessen the impact of, lessen the plastic pollution. So here's that is statistics from Plastic Bank, which is the top 10 plastic producers in the world. You can see here that United States rank one in 34.02 million tons. Next is India with 26.33 and so on and so forth. You can see here that Philippines is not included in the top 10, but you will see on the next slide, based again with Plastic Bank, we are rank one in top 10 ocean plastic waste contributors, which we are in 356,371. So the next to us is India with 126,513. So even if you double it, Philippines still generates way more. And you can see here besides, I'm sorry, you can see here besides the top 10 country, you can see here the rest of the world with 176,012 plastic waste. Even if you double the amount of the plastic that the rest of the world contributes, Philippines still generates way more. So this is very alarming. So um, why? What we manufacture sustainable and consumable utensils accompanied by biodegradable packaging to lessen those problems. So here's the targeted prototype for our edible cutleries. So we will talk more about that in our next slide. So here's the packaging that we want to make it happen. So this is biodegradable packaging. It's soluble within a time frame. So we'll proceed. So why we target plastic packaging and plastic cutlery? So as you can see here, the top 10 plastic waste in the world. So number one is plastic shopping bags, and which is the packaging. So since we are more on plastic packaging, so we want to lessen that usage as well. So number two is plastic cutlery, spoon and fork, then so on and so forth. So next, let me call another member of my team, Amiel, to tackle about sustainable development goals. Amiel.
Amiel, we cannot hear you. Please unmute.
So for the sustainable development goals of our group, first one is zero hunger, which our edible spoons and forks are in support of zero hunger, as we will outsource our products from local farmers and to promote zero wastage on the food. We aim to give livelihood to our farmers here in the Philippines, and so they could have their own livelihood. And second one is decent work and economic growth. So our product supports decent and work and economic growth in a way that we outsource our raw materials from our local farmers, and we will be paid by our community as livelihood program as well. And at Edgetec, we promote jobs, and we are in support of economic growth by making our edible cutleries available in the Philippines but worldwide also. And for the goal 10, to reduce inequalities. So our venture is also in support of reduced inequalities by employing all of the able and people with disabilities of all genders and races without any discrimination by giving them fair and equal treatment and income. So the next goal is to be responsible with the consumption and production of our products. So our venture also promotes consumption and production, as our product is edible and flavored spoons and forks, which is in a biodegradable packaging which dissolves in a time frame. So we also promote our product in order to help in reducing the waste and to live sustainable, a genuine care for our planet. And so the next one is climate action. Since as Eliza has mentioned earlier, it was very alarming that our planet, our by the year of 2030, our planet would be facing much crisis in regards of climate change. So as our products are made of eco-friendly and sustainable materials, we are also in one of with combating climate change. Our product does not have any plastic contents that will release any harmful chemicals such as methane and ethane. It will be decomposed for about 2 years, unlike plastic that decompose like of 20 to 500 years. And it could also be consumed safe to be digested by animals, since the materials that we target are safe for digestion. And the next is the partnerships. We also promote partnerships by collaborating with our local communities, as they will be the one who will facilitate the manufacturing of our edible flavored cutleries with its biodegradable packaging. We will also collaborate with the local government units in order to provide jobs for our local communities.
So here's some problem interviews and survey results that we've conducted. So I'll let Mr. John Paul Fernandez to discuss this.
So in order to 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 innovate our product, we prepared a interview and survey for our chosen respondents. To make it brief, we have interviewed 60 people around Metro Manila. Those 60 people are ranging from 17 years old as the youngest respondent up to 54 years old as our oldest respondents. The majority of our respondents came from Marikina City, followed by Quezon City. Now, what type of interview mode our team has used? So we have used a form in Google Forms in order to disseminate our survey from a worldwide. Next slide, please. So how many of them agree this is a problem and wants us to create a solution of it? So out of 60 respondents, a 56 people agree that plastic pollution is a problem. Now, how many of them said that they don't need a new solution? Only four of them have said that they don't need a solution. So as said in the presentation, a 56 people have agreed to plastic that plastic is harmful for the environment. Now, the next question is, how often do you use plastic products? Now, as said in the forms, 39 people, 85% of them is at wait lang. It is said that how alarming for you are the issue of plastic pollution. It is said that 65% of our respondents are consider them very alarming. Now, do you think plastic pollution and waste disposal are the problem in your community? Survey says that 88.3% of them are said that plastic pollution and waste disposal are a problem. Now, in the next survey, it is said that, are you aware that there are edible and biodegradable spoon and forks available in the market? Now, some of them said that they are aware that they are edible, but some of them said that they are not aware. Next slide. Now, in the next question, will you consider buying a flavored edible spoon and fork with biodegradable packaging? Most of them said that they are willing to buy edible cutleries as an alternative for plastic spoon and forks. Now, what do you consider when it comes to choosing a single-use fork, spoon and forks? Um, um, Most of them said that they will use a single use of spoon and fork for eco-friendly, durability, price, and also um, practicality. Now, do you think edible spoon and fork with biodegradable packaging as a alternative to the usual plastic spoon and forks will have a great impact in the environment? Most of them strongly agree that this kind of idea will have a great impact to our environment. Now, how much will you pay for the package of 10 pieces each of flavored edible spoon and forks? Um, may some agree that a price range of 51 pesos to 100, and some also agree that a range price of 1 to 50 pesos. Now, what are the flavors that you want to taste
for our edible spoon and forks. Um, Most of our respondents agreed that they want a flavor of chocolate or vanilla in our edible spoon and forks. Next slide.
So here's a SWOT analysis regarding our product that made. So with our strength, of course, environmental friendliness, since our product is biodegradable as well with the packaging. As the second is biodegradability. Three is innovation and novelty, as we target with our cutleries with the innovative flavors such as Filipino flavors. Then positive brand image, since we support sustainability and want to help our environment. Then market growth potential, since our customers is shifting towards a more sustainable lifestyle. So this is a must try for them as well. So next, one of the weakness. So as a business, not only as a student but as a businessman, so you want to acknowledge the weakness of your product so that you could make that weaknesses as one of your strengths as well. So number one is consumer acceptance. Since in the Philippines, this is new to the market, one thing that we will have a problem is advertising it. So next is cost of production. So since we're only a student, we are looking for funding so that we could continue more to develop our product. Next is limited shelf times. This is not only the functionality of it is not just for spoon and fork or any cutleries, but it's also consumable. So all the ingredients, so it has a specific shelf time. So we still want to develop a product that is has long expiry date. So next is opportunities. So growing sustainability trends. Next is partnerships and collaborations, as mentioned a while ago, that we want to partner with local communities and any other non-profit organizations. Next is educational campaigns, because not only are we targeting to produce edible cutleries, we want to provide um, seminars to local communities about the problem that we are having in the community as well. So we really want to help our environment with this, not we want to be an advocate of it. So threats often for competitive landscape. So as this idea is booming in our country, so a competitive landscape would be open, of course, because um as product goes trendy, so other businessman uh gets that opportunity, especially if the product is not patented, so they will have an idea to what product they will release as well. So next is regulatory changes. So since this is food-based still, we need to follow the policies made by FDA, Food and Drug Administration. So next is change of consumer preference. So we want to maintain our target market as well. So we need to consider them as well as maintaining those customers. So next is potential impact. So I'll let Emil again to discuss about this. Emil.
So the potential impact of our product is edible cutlery represents a transformative solution to the environmental challenges posed by plastic cutleries, since ours would be consumable and biodegradable. By choosing edible alternatives, we can reduce our reliance on single-use plastic and contribute to a healthier planet, since it would lessen the or eliminate the pollution. As technology advances and consumer preferences shifts towards sustainable options, the widespread adoption of edible cutlery has the potential to make a significant impact on eliminating plastic waste and fostering more sustainable and resilient future. It is a delicious step towards a cleaner, greener planet. So for the novelty, the edible cutlery introduces a novel approach to the design and composition of utensils. The traditional plastic cutlery is uniform in its structure and lacks diversity that edible cutleries brings to the table. And edible utensils can be crafted from a variety of ingredients such as wheat, rice, sorghum, and more. This diversity allows for a range of textures, flavors, and shapes, transforming the dining experience into a sensory adventure. And for the innovation of edible cutlery extends beyond its design to its positive impact on the environment. So the use of biodegradable and edible materials to reduce the environmental footprint associated with traditional cutleries, and this innovation aligns with the growing global awareness of the need for sustainable practices in all aspects of life. Additionally, the packaging that is soluble, edible, solid, are soluble and edible for marine animals, as mentioned earlier. Moreover, we offer a variety of flavors, such as chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, and we are planning to add it in the future, the Filipino flavors such as ube, buko pandan, and the trendy flavors which are matcha, milk tea, and coffee.
So
So
I'll continue. So thank you so much, Emil. So feasibility. So is our idea doable? So the idea is very feasible. The suitable resources are available in the market. Although the cost of production is much higher than the traditional utensils, good implementation of marketing may affect the demand of our product. As demand increases and production scales up, costs may come down, making us more competitive. So, careful consideration of market dynamics, consumer preference, regulatory compliances, and effective business strategies, if managed thoughtfully, an edible cutlery business has the potential to not only contribute so to environmental sustainability but also meet the demand. So we also want to collaborate with any local government. So we want, because this would not be effective if there is no policy related with plastic usage. So we want to pitch this as well so that there would be a specific policy with the usage of um, plastic products. So next is sustainability. Our product promotes less contribution to pollution, reduces demand for plastic usage. Of it will greatly impact the environment, resulting in reduced plastic waste and conservation of natural resources. So next here is our competition analysis that we've made. So we have here four other business in related with cutleries, and one on the end, Edgetec Enterprise, is who we are. So one is Grand Champ Packaging Corporation. They are one of the biggest plastic producers in here in the Philippines. They produce plastic cutleries, paper cutleries, wooden and biodegradable plastic packaging and cutleries. So we also have Calypso. So you're maybe familiar with this company. So they are one of the um, biggest company as well here in the Philippines, which produces plastic spoon, fork, and plastic bags as well. So we also have here two environmental friendly company, which is Packaging Lab PH. They produce wooden spoon, forks, fork, and knives. And the bamboo company, which they use disposable bamboo spoon, fork, and chopstick. So as a price comparison, we all know that plastic products is way cheaper compared to the more biodegradable and sustainable products. As you can see here, the price range. So it will be one of our problem that we want to solve as well. So all of us as a branding channel with usage of e-commerce website and social media and email marketing as well. So you could see here some of market reviews regarding those specific company with their Facebook pages and Google review rating. Some even as Shopee and Lazada and other medium as well. So next, marketing
Uh,
strategy.
Excuse me, Stanley, we have exactly 3 minutes left, right? So
Okay.
this will be finished in terms of the um, worldwide distribution. But we have to finish in 3 minutes. So I'd like to call Professor James to give a conclusion here. In other words, Professor James, as people listen, and maybe we can extend it 5 minutes, please give us a conclusion here. First of all, let me tell you, it's fantastic, right? And then we'll discuss 1 more hour how to do this thing so that it's spread better. It's fantastic thing you've done here. But Professor James, can you please close this because the connection worldwide is going to finish in a few minutes. Now, please give us a conclusion. In your opinion, this is a fantastic thing. In your opinion, in addition to all the benefits here, we'd like to ask you, Professor, what can people listening to you and people right now engaged with you in this forum, what can people do to help you promote this so that we help all these things that you're doing so well? Professor James, can you tell us what we can do to help promote this so that it's done in a faster and more effective way?
Or Ernie, I think they were flashing the last parts of the
Yes,
or
but unfortunately, the thing, we want the conclusion already. Okay, just give me the last page, and then Professor James, please give your concluding remarks as to how we can help you. Okay, can you see the last page, please? The last page of this presentation. Okay, we can read it because we really are closing this thing, no? So basically, the main point here, you are in fact the perfect team, and you have great communication, and you guys have exemplary skills, of course, right? And you are going to strive to be better, produce better, and you are among the best we've heard. All right. So, Professor James, can you please give a concluding remark as to how we can help you with this? Professor James?
I think Sir James' mic is not on. Hello, sir.
Okay, let's wait a few more seconds. If not, Stanley can give his concluding remarks. Okay, Professor James, we'll wait a few more seconds. Please unmute if you can. Okay, Stanley, you're the leader. I want to congratulate you. You use teammanship. You have a great team, and each one is fantastic. To be honest with you, this is really something. I mean, I thought that Fordham and New York University, I was rated #1 in Fordham, #2 in New York University. But God, you guys are better than me. And and this is totally fantastic. So, Stanley, give us your remarks. How do you think we listening to you can help you promote this fantastic project of yours?
Yeah. Of course, one of the powerful advertisement is the word of mouth. So with that, any aspects in advertising would be helpful for us, not only with this kind of product, but in partnerships and collaborations with any local government or nonprofit organization. So if there is someone that we could work with to really continue this product, so this would be a big help for us, which is a big step because as you know, we are only students and we want to continue this as our mission here and the Philippines. So any partnerships and collaborations would be a big help for the team. So another problem that we have, of course, is funding. So if there are any people that are willing to fund this project, we would love um, any proposal that we could pitch this idea so that we could, of course, develop it more.
Thank you, thank you. In fact, we have to close, but I'd like to say this. In the next hour, we'll talk about how we will help you in more detail. In the meantime, people hearing around the world, you hear what they've done, fantastic. You hear how you can help, etc. And you have their phone numbers, right? To be repeat 0927-498-5565 for Professor James, and for Stanley. Congratulations on being a great team leader. 0977-004-3921. We have 1 more hour to talk about details here, and maybe some parts of this presentation that are not presented can be presented during that next hour. But to close it, we'd like to say thank you very much. It's a fantastic thing. I'm really inspired. You know, I'm getting sad about our country sometimes, but when I hear you guys, this is the youth, this is the people who change our world, right? So congratulations. So Vivian, can you go through the closing remarks here just briefly? Give the closing. We have a certificate of appreciation. Do that within 5 seconds, and then tell us about the next forum. Okay, I'll just do this already, so it's faster, right? Professor James Stanley, we appreciate very much, etc. Next slide, please. Give the next forum.
Yes, we're talking about green honey or coconut nectar
Wow.
processing enterprises. It will be from our guest who was referred to me by Dean Hernandez. Thank you.
Wow, okay. Honey nectar, fantastic. Okay, see us, here we go. Yeah, that's next week, right? Okay. Okay. And therefore, on that note, we can introduce each other later in the next hour. I'd like to thank Professor James and Stan and your team. My God, everyone in your team is